Hello and welcome to the Crafsman Show. My name is your host, the Crafsman. In today's video, do y'all ever wonder about that right there? I know I do, and I can't be the only one. In today's video, we're going to take us a look at InstaMorph. The reason how come this container does not roll, let's see, there we go, is because it got beads up on it. And so InstaMorph is aka thermoplastic. Alright, thermo, as many of y'all already know, comes from it doesn't mean heat, insta. It doesn't mean, right now, and then morph, that's to change something. So we're going to be taking these little pellets right there, and we're going to heat them up until it starts to melt down a little bit. It's going to turn more like a putty. And so what we're going to do is to change these plastic pellets into a mold, alright? And then we're going to see, can we also make us an object from the same pellets? Crafsman, that's crazy what you doing. And so how can we heat up these pellets? One way that you can do it is with a heat gun. You can just pour you some pellets up on there. Do not use a heat gun on top of your cutting mat, because your cutting mat might warp on you like that right there. You also can do use a hot plate like that right there. I said, baby, can I use one of your pots? And she just kind of looked at me a little bit. She wanted to give me one of her good pots. I said, baby, don't say no more. I know what it is. And so I just went around and found this right there. It had a little bit of curvature to it. So I set it down and got me a hammer. That way we get some good heat conductivity, And just turn your heat down. Add your InstaMorph beads. Just to be sure, let's go ahead and move this thing out the way right here.
Cause your cutting man might warp on you.
The direction call for you to heat it up and then pour your plastic in, but let's just see what happens. I have actually used InstaMorph for a few years now. It seemed to work out every time for me. This time might be different, so let's see. If you do not already have your object that you want to mold, or the mold that you want to use ready, now is a good time to do that while the plastic is melting down. Alright, you can get your little mold, something like that. In today's video, I want to do something extra special. So we're going to use Castle Grayscale. In particular, there right there is an area of interest. That's neat. Now you want to be very careful because this gets really hot. But what should happen is that your little BBs start to turn clear, and then they come together like that right there. And so that's one way that you can heat it up. Now it's going to cool off relatively fast. So you need to have ready whatever it is that you're going to use this with. Whether that's going to be a mold, whether that's going to be pushed out into a mold. Alright. If it gets to where it's just a little bit too firm for you, then just go ahead and just drop it back in your heat. And just heat it up again, And if you want a little bit more hurry, then you could just use a heat gun on it. And just be careful not to blow the baby up out there. Now let me just say real quick that the safest way out of these two in Crafsman experiments, don't ask me how I know this, is that This probably is the least safe one. I would probably prefer that you use the water method. It's going to be a little more gentle. It's going to be less heat on the front end. This going to have more potential to give you a little bit of an uncomfortable heat, you know. AKA that might burn you. I don't want that to happen. It's bad when something can burn you. It's extra bad when something can stick to you and burn you. That's what they call bad combination. At this point, you can just shape it into something. You know, you can sit there and sculpt it if you want to. You're going to have limited time to do that. You can also just take, let's see, and just, you know, if you want to counterfeit some money or something like that, right, and then let that cool, then you got your mold up there. Don't do that. You know, you even could just stick your plastic down in there. I'm really surprised that 3D print resin did not crack on me. You know, make your little copy, plastic copy or something. A little open that in a little bit. I wonder if we could do something, make a necklace, pendant, maybe a little magnet, something with it. I like that right there. All right, since we're going to be applying pressure to that surface right there, and because we want this thing to lay flat, and we do not want to break that little peg right there, then what I'm going to do, give me a bar and lay that on top of the bar right there. All right, see that? And also it would be good if you can get you something with that profile, because that's just going to make it wobbly. It's going to make things interesting for you. If you just went with a regular bar, you know, it just would be too easy. So let's just do that right there. All right. Now what you want to do, this probably the part where you're going to take the most time and make sure that you it's going to spread out on you. And what you want to do is just very carefully to push in and downward, inward, downward, inward, downward, and try to capture all the little detail that you can do. All right. Don't be afraid to just get up in here and really put the hurdy-gurdy on it. All right. And now we're just going to let it cool down, all right? All right. And now we got a hard plastic mold. Excuse all the little dots and things like that. That's because, you know, Crafsman was using a metal container from, you know, 1935. So anyway, and so what can we do with this right here? Well, you know, you can stick you some Play-Doh down into it. You could take you some scuppet, push it in there, and then cool it, and then pop it out, and then bake your scuppet. Then you got a clay version. You can do all kinds of stuff. Epoxy scup, maybe. I have never tried that. I maybe not should have said that. But what I want to do today is we're going to stick with the same material. So I'm going to heat up a second batch of InstaMorph and just push it right on down into here. That way we get us a plastic copy of that little emblem right there. But wait, there's more. We're going to use some alcohol inks. With alcohol inks, you can do color thing after the fact. But I said, look at here, we're going to be adventurous. I'm going to try this when it's, yeah, I probably got that on my finger. I'm going to try this when it's at the squisher stage and see that we can get the color all permeated up into the plastic, all right? Y'all wish me success with this. So I'm going to look at that and say, how much of this do we need to pull out for that right there to fill that? All right. And I'm going to say probably about that much right there. Now this right here I don't know about. I ain't never done this before. But that's the modus operandi with Crafsman, you know. Let's just see. I also noticed the way the alcohol ink behave is that you can just take your glove and they'll put it back up in the water. And that alcohol ink, you know, it stays right there. It don't go, you know, leaching out up onto the water. So that's pretty neat to know. I got to be honest, this right here is just fun to play with right there. My stress level, my cortisol level going down right now as we speak. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to do is just to work it up enough to where basically we give it a little flash edge, you know. That's going to, if we thin out that little edge, it's going to be easier to clean up later. All right. Can you see that outline starting to take shape? See that? That actually does not stick at all, really. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there now. The best way probably to do this is to fill in InstaMorph everywhere where your object is, all right? That way, you ain't got to clean up all the little flash and things like Crafsman finna have to do. Got to go through here and do all this. And there we go. Got some translucence to it. And all these little extra can just be thrown right back into your heat and just melt it down, use it again. In fact, if you don't like the way your project turns out, throw it in there, melt it down, melt it down, do it again. That's pretty neat right there. Do y'all know what that needs right there? That needs a black wash on it. But anyway, that's pretty neat. I do want to bring out some details, little ridges, little lines, and creases, and all. And so I thought about using just some, you know, wash thing like that. But they're going to have more tenderness on this type of plastic to do kind of rub off. And you want that to some degree, but I want something going to penetrate a little better. And so what I'm going to do is just take the alcohol ink right there. Going to mix it with that clover. I don't know what's going to happen. Now the good thing about that being solid color all the way through, we ain't got to worry about rubbing off that green cause it's integral. Yeah, right. That's probably going to go right on through to my cutting mat, but that's all right. We ain't worried about it. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. You know, I might could have toned it down a little bit on the black wash, but it really helps to bring out the little details and things, you know. You put your little eye hook in the top of it and string it from a necklace. You could drill, put your little magnet in the back of it, and there you go. And now we can check that one off the list. I normally do not ask y'all. Please like, please subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell for notification. Thing like that. So I'm just gonna keep on doing that. Get out to you some crafts, alright? It might make you feel more happy, and that's going to make you more healthy. Alright? I worry about y'all sometime, you know. Excuse me. Until next time, I love y'all and keep on steady crafting. Alright. It got some pretty good flex to it. Pretty good strength to it. I would say that.